This is McMahon Stadium in Calgary. CBC took this drone footage earlier this week. Come Sunday, the seats will be packed with football fans. The Hamilton Tiger Cats will take on the Winnipeg Blue Bombers for the Grey Cup. One of those teams will end a long championship drought. Neither has won a Grey Cup this century. The Ticats haven't won since 1999, and you have to go all the way back to 1990 for the last time Winnipeg celebrated a Grey Cup victory. Now, did you know the Grey Cup is the oldest professional sports trophy in North America, even older than the Stanley Cup? It was introduced more than a century ago in 1909. Earlier today, my colleague Suhana Meharchand spoke to the official keeper of the Grey Cup, Jeff McWhinney, and he told her how they make sure an old trophy keeps its shine.
This year we had unveiled on May 7th, we had given a bit of a facelift, and what it's done is it's familiarized people with more of the players, the 3,802, on different levels. You take a look at the 1950s, where things were a little tough racially, and those barriers, those religious barriers. The principles were only principles until they were challenged, and those players were in locker rooms together, and those friendships lasted to the day they died. It was very interesting. My father was one of them, and I believe those gentlemen pioneered it and made it very good for the Jake Godars and the Sidney Halters, the commissioners, Doug Mitchell, and certainly our great Randy Ambrosie.
You know what? Some fantastic stories, and I'm wondering, Jeff, if that's one of the reasons why you wanted to be that close to the Cup is because of your dad.
You know, these guys, those teammates of my father, and of course the brethren that goes on after 1952, 3, 4, and prior to that, we take a look at the guys that he played against, like Gino DiNoble. Our executive director, Mark DiNoble, is the son of the great Gino DiNoble, number 55. He has taken this to a new level as well, and we want to follow his footsteps. He's a great leader, as Randy Ambrosie is our great leader. We've done something, and we're trying to change things. We're here in Calgary, and we've got 250 kids here, every denomination, and it's the one walked in here in the first 3 minutes. That's all I saw was kids that wanted to play this game. It didn't matter what gender, what religion, or what color. It was absolutely stunning, Sue.
I also want to ask you about some of the accidents that the Cup has had. Did the Cup fall off at one point? Was it stuck back on with crazy glue?
We've had those issues, and we respond quite quickly. We have the ability to respond quite quickly, and it's important to us that we still maintain the integrity and honor of and the reverence of the Cup.
You know what? I get the feeling, Jeff, that you don't want to tell me anything bad about the Cup, so I'm just going to keep on asking and asking and asking. What's the worst thing that's been put in that Cup? I'm sure there's been Gatorade and champagne, but what else?
Well, it's tested. It's 2.5 balls of champagne, 9 stubbies, 7 long necks, and 4 king cats. So the other beverages, certainly there's been Kool-Aid, Gatorade, and I'm sure there's other libations that we can certainly count on from some of these excellent bartenders that are around.
No kidding. I think I might want to fill it up with cognac or something like that. But that would be one heck of a hangover. Any names spelled incorrectly on there?
Mr. Mark DiNoble. In the last 2.5 years, we have done a complete cleanup of this Cup, and you'll see how beautiful it looks. It does revere all the names. And what we have here, Stu, is something that has told us great things, and we said we have to make sure that everyone does not have an error in their names. We've done some good things. There might have been 22 amendments or so, but I bring that back to Mark.
Final question for you. I'm going to suggest that the Hamilton Tiger Cats are going to have their names all put on that Cup. Others are going to say, no way, it's the Blue Bombers. I'm not going to ask you to give us any predictions because that's not your gig. But as far as the expressions that people have on their faces when CFL fans come and see that Cup, is there a story that stands out for you?
I think the first thing that comes to mind, Sue, is that we talk about maybe 18 players up here in 1909, and we go back to the 44 players here. The biggest thing, Sue, is those were locker rooms. But one of the greatest locker rooms in this world is Canada. We go from mare to mare, ocean to ocean, the Atlantic to the Pacific. We invite everybody into our locker room. So, Sue, welcome to our locker room.
That was my colleague Suhana Meharchand speaking to the keeper of the Grey Cup, Jeff McWhinney, earlier today. Still ahead, many of us look at digital screens all day long. Is the blue light they emit dangerous? CBC's Marketplace investigates the health claims of leading eyeglass stores. The details coming up here on CBC News Network.